dreamed there'd be a place like this underground.
Because Cassadine thinks of everything.
And stints of nothing.
Well, I'll drink to that. This is a marvelous place.
Mikos does not do things halfway.
He certainly doesn't.
Yes, no details ever escape Mikos' attention.
What's he like?
Nikos?
Yes.
Mikos Cassadine has always been a man of mystery. An enigma. He's the head of one of the most influential families in history, and yet his life is a secret, known only to a handful of people.
He's never even seen in public. In fact, I've never seen him.
Well, I'm sure he hasn't seen you either, especially on the stage.
Well, he does have my movies flown in for private screenings.
Oh, I'm sure you'd like to believe that.
Please, everyone, can we enjoy ourselves? Now listen, everyone. My brother Mikos has hand-selected each one of you to be here. He has assembled us here because he believes in us and believes that we'll all share with him his new vision of the world.
What do you mean by his new vision of the world?
Or why don't we save your questions till later?
Your patience will be rewarded. I can assure you that.
Friends and associates, I give you Mikos Cassadine.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we talk about all your favorite TV series from yesteryear and then discuss them over like 4 glasses of wine. I'm Patrick M. Dunn. You probably remember me from the previous episodes, and I'm joined here by Kat Halstead.
Hello, everybody.
Because we were supposed to record like 2 hours ago, and we got delayed. So you've just been like pre-gaming up a storm, apparently.
Okay, so well, I just got amazing news that Days of Our Lives hired my favorite soap opera head writer, Ron Carlivati, and I'm freaking ecstatic. Like, I love this man. I love what he wrote at One Life to Live. I love what he wrote at General Hospital. I have been depressed since he left General Hospital, and now he's going to take over Days of Our Lives, which is like treading water. It's got the creepy Megyn Kelly, like, fear of being canceled because nobody knows what NBC's going to do and where they're going to put her. But, oh my god, he's going to save Days of Our Lives, and it's going to be freaking amazing.
I almost just thought you were going to say Megyn Kelly was joining Days of Our Lives, but
No.
Then I remembered. I was like, oh, we just talked about this like 2 weeks ago.
I still think she's getting the Billy Bush time slot that he was supposed to get.
The old Billy Bush time slot.
Which is just hilarious when you consider he got ousted because of the tape of Donald Trump talking about the Days of Our Lives star. So, yeah.
All right, so tell me about this. What was his name? Kristen Cavallari? What was it?
Ron Carlivati.
Oh, okay. Carlivati.
Yeah, Ron Carlivati. He is, like, seriously one of my absolute all-time favorite soap opera head writers. Like, oh my god.
What has he done? What was his dream era? His dream boat, so you will.
He did the last several years of One Life to Live. And when One Life to Live was canceled, there was partially a scandal because it was actually climbing in the ratings because it was at that must-see TV for soaps in the 2000s kind of era.
Was that like the Chew or something that
took
over?
No, the Chew took over All My Children.
Okay, I was close.
Yeah, but I will say everything that has gotten One Life to Live's time slot since then has failed.
Like what? Give us
The Revolution, Good Afternoon America, and Katie Couric.
Good Afternoon America? What?
Yes, there was a Good Afternoon America. That's what was supposed to take General Hospital's time slot.
America was not ready for afternoon delights.
No, America was like, fuck you. We're not here for all this informative TV that Brian fucking Franz says we're here for. So Brian Franz, if you happen to stumble upon this, guess what? Go suck a fucking cock and choke on it.
Really?
I was going to be like a total freak during this episode, and we haven't even gotten to the actual topic.
Which is similar to what we're talking about now.
Well, because One Life to Live was canceled. And there was this whole, like, they're going to go online, and Ron Carlivati was going to go to the online version and continue, like, what he was doing. But that fell through. So ABC was like, well, you know, we need somebody over at General Hospital, so how about you come over here? And General Hospital, they were planning to cancel, to do this whole, like, the lineup they wanted was, like, The Chew, The Revolution, Good Afternoon America, and Katie Couric. This was like their dream lineup for some reason, which is like complete shit. ABC,
General
ABC,
Hospital's
Disney, you keep fucking up. You keep fucking up. That's all I can say is you keep fucking up and you don't realize it. So Ron goes to General Hospital, and you know, General Hospital is not doing so hot because they're so focused on fucking Sonny Corinthos. Fuck you, Maurice Bernard. Fuck you, Sonny Corinthos. And fuck you, Nathan Varney. Because you fucking know why.
Why? I don't know why. I think you need to...
Because Ron rose the ratings. Ron gave the viewers what they fucking wanted. Who they wanted. They did not want to see
Which was what?
mob boss Sonny Corinthos throwing barware and knocking everyone up. We don't give a shit about Sonny fucking Corinthos. Okay?
I thought he was like the big to-do.
He's not. He thinks he is, but he's not. He is a piece of fucking shit.
Is he like the Steve Sanders of Port Charles?
Fuck you, Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, and anybody who thinks he's God's gift to General Hospital, because he's destroying the show. And Nathan Varney loves Sonny Corinthos, and that's why this little fucker is shoved down my throat 5 days a fucking week.
This is like you just left like a 20-minute voicemail. It's like 3 a.m. and I was like, oh, I got a missed call. I got a missed call from Kat. Let's see. Oh, she left a 3-hour voicemail.
Oh my god, this is so messy.
And it's you dropping names I've never heard before.
Oh my god.
I thought it would have been a lot better if it was Kristen Cavalardi instead of...
She needs to understand that vaccination should happen.
Oh, is she an anti-vaxxer?
Yes, she is an anti-vaxxer.
Ooh, I did not know this fact about her. I was gonna do a Hills rewatch, but I guess I won't anymore.
Yeah, she's an anti-vaxxer. And I'm sorry.
She was on Hills, right?
There are young children who cannot get vaccinations because of their autoimmune disorders. So you getting your perfectly healthy child those immunizations helps protect those other children.
We're gonna get a lot of angry tweets tonight.
You've just got lit cat tonight, don't you?
Oh, can we talk about our new fan?
Oh, we have a new fan? Let's talk.
The one that signed up for the Twitter account just to...
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, hold on.
What's her name?
Hold on, I gotta scroll. Okay. I'm looking it up. We have Danielle.
Yeah, Danielle Reeves, right?
There's also a Sarah.
Yes, well, Sarah requested an episode.
Danielle and Sarah, shout out.
We'll definitely do that. And then we had someone who purposely signed up for Twitter to tweet us.
Yes, that is amazing. Oh my god, Danielle, you are freaking amazing just for that. Oh my god, that blew my mind. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, so cool. If you listen to this podcast and you do not have Twitter, but you want to sign up for Twitter, please do, and then send us a shoot at Very Podcast, and I don't know, you will blow Kat's mind again.
Yes, please. Please continue to just blow my mind. Because it's kind of awesome.
Imagine a whole crew of people just signed up tomorrow.
And we got a bunch of tweets. That would be awesome.
All the names that you just dropped. Varney.
Dude, he's got me blocked. On 2 accounts.
Oh, is that the guy that blocked you?
Yeah, that's the guy that blocked me.
Okay, so you gave him shit online, right?
Yes, I did. Okay, so there was an actor on General Hospital who threatened to physically harm a fan. And I was like, what are you going to do about that?
Ooh, this is entering that, was it a controversial tweet?
Yeah. The actor threatened to break this guy's fingers. And a bunch of us were like, okay, you got to publicly denounce this. Nothing. You know what happens? This little fucker, Brian Craig, who's a total piece of shit. And you know what? Fuck you, Brian Craig. You know I think you're a piece of shit. I called you a con artist.
Oh, you're calling out names tonight.
Hey, he blocked me too, whatever. But I was like, you gotta you gotta handle this kid, because he's trying to scam fans in a pyramid scheme. He's threatening physical violence.
Oh, I heard. Is this? You told me about this guy before, the pyramid scheme guy. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
You should explain it to the people who aren't familiar with the pyramid scheme.
So there's this skincare line, Miriam, and
I think I have it.
I think you have it. There's a
Maybe.
few soap stars that I've gotten into. It's not as bad as the Monavive magic juice shit a few years ago.
Doesn't Alison Sweeney do something to
probably
pimp out something? I don't know.
Alison Sweeney's got her little fingers everywhere, directing Hallmark movies.
She's got little fingers.
Peroxy Care, Arm & Hammer endorsements and stuff.
I feel like I've seen her on infomercials, and
she does the Peroxy Care commercials.
Door to door. She's going door to door now.
But so like it's just like a pyramid scheme. It's like a ridiculous like fake Mary Kay Avon kind of thing.
Oh, and it's just kind of, you gotta have a party at your house, and then
Yeah.
you gotta invite like 40 of your closest friends, and then
Mhm.
they get like a prize.
Yeah, and like you're supposed to like work your way up and all that kind of crap.
He's like an Athena goddess.
And these actors like get into it, and then they try to take advantage of their fans. They're like, oh yeah, my aunt used it, and it's like you can like reverse Google search an image and find out this person is not your aunt. Dude, come on.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
It's like what's his name from Big Brother? Glenn. He did that Joey Rodriguez like side account.
Yes. The catfish thing.
That was great.
So like people, we can reverse Google search shit. We're not all idiots.
Yeah, everyone on Twitter are like geniuses. They will.
Okay, and when it comes to soap opera Twitter, you do not fuck with soap Twitter.
Yeah, they're like a feisty crowd. They're.
We are a feisty crowd. I am like totally 100% in soap Twitter. We are feisty. We are honest about what we like. There are things like that band us together. Our hatred of Brian Craig is one of those things that 100% brings us together. If he does something stupid, we're like, you fucker.
So is Brian Craig like the Donald Trump of soap Twitter?
You know what? He could be considered that, yeah.
And then who's the Kellyanne Conway of soap Twitter?
It would be his ex-fiance, but she finally like woke up and left him.
She's woke now.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Kelly?
There's something about that name, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wait, it's not Kellyanne Conway, is it?
No, it's not.
Oh, what were the chances of that? That would be amazing.
That would have been like, whoa.
All right, so speaking of all this mania, what are we doing tonight? What is the topic?
We are actually doing General Hospital.
Yes, a classic. We're going back to September of 1981, I believe.
It's the fucking heyday. The heyday.
I wasn't even
We're
born
going back
yet.
to the Ice Princess story. Yeah, you weren't born yet.
You were
I was born.
just a small child. I was still a fetus. I was still festering.
Yeah, I was like probably not even crawling. Like I was just over a month old.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I was not named Luke because of this.
I was 6 weeks old, actually.
All right, so you have to do a little background story on this incident because I only watched the actual saving of the world. I didn't watch the whole lead up to it.
Okay, so you don't know like the whole Ice Princess thing.
I have a general idea of it, but I have not seen it.
Okay. So the Ice Princess was this like a giant diamond, black diamond, which I would say is probably estimating the size of a Bath and Body Works like 3-wick candle.
3-wick candle.
Yes, a 3-wick candle.
What color? Blue? Baby blue?
No, it was black. This isn't baby blue. The candle I'm holding. This is a gray candle. Fireside marshmallow or marshmallow fireside.
Oh, it looks baby blue on my Google screen. So maybe you need to fix your color, or maybe I'm colorblind. Who knows? Should I do the colorblind test?
You should probably do that later.
I had to take one to work at the hospital. I had to do a colorblind test.
Well, then I'm guessing you passed.
And I was kind of scared. I was like, oh shit, like because I didn't know I was I've never been tested before, so I was like, what if I am? And then they don't let me work here because I can't like differentiate between gray and baby blue.
Well, to be fair, like I don't have my like bright light on.
Imagine if the test was they sent me to a Bath and Body Works and they're like, you have to find a gray 3-wick candle. And I'm just like running through there looking for the Ice Princess. So the Ice Princess was a gem that I guess...
It was a diamond. It was like a big uncut diamond that like everybody wanted.
And it had magical properties too?
Well, when it came with the formula for carbonic snow so that somebody could like program a computer to create...
Okay.
A eternal winter in upstate New York in the middle of summer.
What was his name? Cassadine?
Nikos Cassadine. Yes, got his hand on the diamond after it got like... First, Edward Quartermain was trying to get it because he just wanted the diamond.
Like he wanted it for riches and...
Yeah, because he's the Quartermain and they used to be like super greedy, but now they've got like good hearts.
He wanted to build a new wing on the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. So, his niece Alexandria was involved with one of the Cassadine guys, Tony. And they like stole the diamond from Edward and gave it to Nikos, and Nikos set off this whole like crazy winter. And Robert Scorpio, WSB agent, super spy extraordinaire.
That is the best name, by the way. We just have to throw that out there.
Robert Scorpio.
Yes.
Isn't it?
It reminds me of like a James Bond villain. He kind of does look like a James Bond villain too.
But he's the hero.
But he looks like a villain. Though.
Yeah, I
to
can
me
see that.
he did. I don't know. Maybe to a lady's eyes, he looked like a hero.
Well, also, I'm quite familiar with who Robert Scorpio
That is true. I'm kind of new to the world of Robert Scorpio.
Like, my mother freaking loved Robert Scorpio.
She had posters on the wall. That was your first word was Scorpio.
No, but I just know that my mother loved Luke Spencer and she loved Robert Scorpio. Like, those were her
guys.
Her GH guys. And I can explain that later. So it was like Luke Spencer, who is Luke freaking Spencer, played by Tony Geary, and Laura Weber Baldwin, who is Laura.
Who is the greatest human being in this world.
Yes.
I just want to throw that out there. In this episode, she is running around with a machine gun. She's in, like, a dress. She's got pumps on.
She's in a ball gown. Yeah. Okay.
It was like she was just at the nurse's ball.
I said this on Twitter and Instagram earlier. Laura Weber Baldwin is the biggest badass to ever badass on General Hospital. And she makes all your little badasses of today on GH look so lame.
So are they trying to recreate her for a modern generation with all these new broads?
They don't even try that. They're just, like, the current badass is Sam McCall, who can barely walk in 4-inch heels and always falls over, and she's always the damsel in distress. But she's supposed to be the badass. Like,
so if they remade the storyline, could she hold the gun?
No.
And take out the Cassadines?
No. Hell, Sam is a Cassadine.
Oh, well, the new version, whatever. Maybe a Corinthios? Is that how you say it?
Anyways, so you get, there's the yacht. Luke, Laura, and Robert all stow away on the yacht to try and, like, get the diamond back. And they end up on the tropical island that the Cassadines are on to do this experiment off of Argentina.
So there's an island that's way the fuck away from New York, wherever, upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
And yet this island can control the weather in New York?
Yes, in upstate New York.
On a computer that is, like, on a gigantic computer?
Yes, that is probably not as powerful as our cell phones or our laptops.
Yeah, it can only do two things. There was, like, a lever that you had to pull.
Lever.
And it got, like, I guess if you pull the lever, the only way you can, like, unleash the lever is by typing in the right password.
Yeah, you have to type in the right password for the lever to actually move. And there's, like, no way to actually guess the password.
And
like,
you can just enter the password in as many times as you want, I guess.
Yeah, there's no, like, okay, and you've tried this, like, too many times, you don't get locked out, yeah.
You have to call IT.
There's no IT. Actually, I guess, technically, Victor was their IT.
Okay,
Victor
so he's the one who already built this beast.
Let me explain the Cassadines. They are former Russian royalty that got driven out of Russia during that whole thing and ended up in Greece and live on a private island. But they still, like, have their titles and stuff, okay? So, like, he's Prince Nikos Cassadine. And then his son, Stavros, is Prince Stavros. And then there's Nicholas, Prince Nicholas, and then Prince Spencer.
So that already makes no sense.
Nicholas is the son of Stavros Cassadine and Laura Spencer. Oh my god, this episode's not going to make any sense.
If this doesn't make any sense, just read the Wikipedia page like 5 times. Or find the article that I found. It was like the 10 craziest soap opera plots ever. And I think it was...
Or just, like...
I think this is like number 8.
Tweet me at CatDVS. And I can make this make way more sense when I'm not on my 4th class.
So are we going to have to redo the episode?
I don't think so. I say no.
This isn't Home Alone 2?
No, I just say we just do it because I'm not doing this again.
Fun fact. The Home Alone 2 that you hear on our website is actually the second recording of it.
And that's why Kat walked off.
Yes, and that's why Kat walked off. One of many reasons why she walked off.
Yeah. Okay.
I had to, like, twist her arm to make her re-record it.
Yeah, I was not happy.
You were, like, throwing shit at the wall and stuff.
Pretty much. Oh my god. Okay, so the Cassadines are, like, these crazy, insane people. Like, I mean, they want to take over the world and freeze
Understandable.
it.
I mean, this was, like, pre-climate change? Maybe?
Yeah, this is pre-climate change, pre-global warming, like, all of that. Buzzwords. There's no Earth Day specials or anything.
Well, Earth Day existed, because didn't we learn that it came around in the 70s?
Like, it 76? Did, actually. Yes, that's right.
It wasn't well known, because it wasn't until the Earth Day special that really Earth Day took off. That was when, like, the whole world really knew about it.
Yes, with Bette Midler as Mother Earth and Mayim Bialik and Jonathan Brandis, like, trying to save the world while Will Smith was rapping.
Oh, that rap sequence is great.
And Doogie Howser was, like, making sure Mother Earth was okay.
I know we kind of discussed it in the Julie Brown episode, but we might have to do like a formal.
We might have to. There's a blog post up about it.
There's too much. Like it would end up like we could just do like segments of it that we didn't cover.
Like the Kevin Costner, Meryl Streep, like about to like have sex on the top of the bar thing.
Yes, but then climate change happened, so they had to stop. And then there's like a weird Robin Williams thing going on too.
Oh yeah, like a televangelist thing. Oh my god.
And is it Gina Davis that she's on like The Love Connection or The Dating Game or something?
Yes, and she hooks up with Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It makes no sense. And there's cartoon characters in it too, and there's like Big Birds in it. I don't know. Like there's definitely like weird things going on.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it'll like randomly cut to like these like super serious moments, like newsy type moments, and you're like, wait.
Yeah, they want to take you out of this crazy world and then bring you into like what's really happening in the world. It's not like Doogie Howser trying to save Bette Midler.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you'll be back to like Chevy Chase being like, save water, shower with friends.
See, I think the 90s was a time where they just always did these events where you just had all these actors or cartoon characters come together.
God, I miss that.
And they don't really do that anymore.
They don't. And when they do it now, everybody's like super serious.
Like the whole NBC lineup doesn't get together on Sunday nights anymore and then like previews the whole fall season lineup anymore like they used to back in the day.
Yeah, they just do it like they just release the trailers online in May and then... Okay, anyways, back to General Hospital in 1981. So we watched the episode where Luke actually saves the world. At this point, Port Charles is like in such a deep freeze, it's 40 degrees below zero in September.
Yeah, I freak out when it's like 50 degrees. Never mind this below zero.
Yeah, like, okay.
They definitely were showing people like leaving from like the hospital and going to like the coffee shop, but they were not bundled up like the way you would think they would be.
I think the only person who really seemed like bundled up was Audrey Hardy in her fur coat.
And you know what? She probably would have worn that fur coat whether or not they were doing a weather-related episode that day.
So this is like back when they did the super like sexy summer storylines. So while you get Luke, Laura, and Robert on this hot tropical island, and Laura with the flowers in her hair and the barely there outfits, everybody else in Port Charles is bundled up in crap. Layers upon layers. Like even freaking Rick Springfield.
He was in this, wasn't he?
Yes, Dr. Noah freaking Drake was in this episode. Like, oh, I was like, I forgot about that. And then when I saw him, I was like, yes, we get Dr. Drake.
Yeah, it was really hard to follow the side stories because I didn't know who like any of these people were or like what was going on. So it was filler for me mostly.
I knew who most were. Like, I knew that the older doctor and his wife that was Dr. Steve Hardy and his wife Audrey Hardy, who were like the couple. Like, Steve Hardy was on that show the first day until the day he died, and I'm so sad.
But they still like had their regular plots going during this scene, so like I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Well, like, yeah, you had it, and it was entangled with the whole like whether like you still had Heather Weber trying to prove her innocent to Joe Kelly while this whole thing was going on.
We'll kind of skip over most of that storyline only because I didn't know what the hell is going on or who any of these people are. I was just really here to talk about the main event, which is Luke banging on a 40-year-old keyboard trying to save the world.
Yeah, so Luke is your unexpected hero, really.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yes.
Was he considered like handsome at this time?
Yes.
Because he looked very like Willy Wonka-ish to me.
Okay, so like I do think Anthony Geary looked better when he was older. The curly hair didn't do it for me. I think this is just like this whole like weird 80s attractiveness.
If Steve Sanders and Willy Wonka had a love child, that's what Luke is to me.
Yes, it's just like what is considered the hot stud in 1981 is not exactly the same as the hot stud in 2017.
And he had like a Larry Bird look to him too. He had like so many looks.
He was not like super young. He was probably 30 almost. Close. He had a good chunk of time on Jeannie Francis, who was like 20, 21. No, she was 20. I think she was 20 because she couldn't drink the champagne that Princess Diana sent her.
In real life, Princess Diana sent her champagne for their fictional wedding, right? So were they married at this point in time, or is this pre-wedding?
No, this is before. This is when they were doing the, we love each other, but we can't be together.
Is this the courtship right here?
This is like in the midst of the courtship.
But saving the world really brought them together.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it would, right?
Yeah, you either end up together or you don't after you save the world together. Yeah.
Or you die. You freeze to death.
Exactly.
Well, would they freeze to death, though? Because they would be on the island. And
Yes, all their family and friends would be dead.
was it freezing the whole world, or was it just the town?
No, well, it started, like, I think Port Charles was the experiment.
Okay.
So they're like, we're going to just, like, we'll freeze Port Charles.
And then the world. What was the end game? Like, what was the point of doing that?
To control the world. It's like, see, this is what we can do.
So they're going to be like, give us money.
This is what we have the power to do. So we're going to do it to Port Charles. And hey, if you don't do what we say, we're going to do it to New York, to London, to Paris, to Moscow. You know, exactly.
It sounds very CW superhero-ish to me. I think they did the same exact plot line on Arrow, where the villain was like, hey, give us what I want, or I'm going to destroy this little random town. And then they ended up like destroying the town. They actually did it.
Well, on a soap opera that was #1, you can't actually destroy the town.
I mean, well, they could have had it happen off screen.
Well, like, you could destroy it and rebuild, I guess.
Yeah, well, it could have like ended up being like a fake island, a replica of the town.
Yeah.
Shout out to Days of Our Lives. So I guess in the episode before the one we watched, Mikos and Luke actually have like a showdown, maybe?
Yeah, they have the showdown. Mikos dies. Tony dies. Like, I think Mikos gets shoved in, like, some kind of freezing chamber or something.
And he freezes. And now Luke is trapped in the control room where the computer is, but the door's locked, so he can't escape.
Yeah.
The computer's been activated. The lever has been pulled.
And he has no clue what the password is.
Yeah, and there's like a phone in there too, so he can like communicate with Lar, who's outside.
Some kind of PA system, but like there's a telecommunication system with like the minions who like connect them to the WSB in Port Charles.
They can hear each other perfectly.
Yeah, Laura and Robert Scorpio, the badass spy from the WSB. Robert Scorpio is the only one who's probably like actually trained to do any of this because he's a badass spy for the WSB, which stands for World Security Bureau.
I was going to ask you, like, you keep saying that, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I was like, I think I need to explain that.
Is it like the Interpol of this world?
Interpol also exists, but it's like one of those like world organizations.
I feel like the only place that Interpol you actually hear about Interpol is in soap operas.
Yeah, like maybe like a show like The Blacklist.
Yeah, or like Alias maybe. It might have came up in an episode or two.
Yeah.
Or like Chuck.
Yeah, stuff like that.
But you don't hear it in like day to day. Like it's not like they make the news.
Yeah, you're not like watching Fox News and they're like, Interpol did this today, or MSNBC, Rachel Maddow's like, and here's the problem with Interpol. You know, you don't hear that stuff.
You do a good Rachel Maddow.
Really? I never watch her.
Oh.
She's the reason I don't watch MSNBC.
I didn't even think MSNBC still existed. I'm surprised that it does.
It does. Shockingly.
Okay. You learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm.
Today I learned about WSB.
But she is the reason I don't watch it. And I watched MSNBC from the second it went on the air. And Rachel Maddow is why I don't watch.
I used to watch MSNBC when it first started, but then I just don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, I don't watch it. She was just too, like, snotty to viewers. She's like, if you don't believe what I believe exactly the way I believe it, you're an idiot. And I was like, no, thank you.
On a scale of, like, where does she relate in, like, the Nancy Grace, Susie Orman scale?
She's a totally different scale.
And they both are pretty high on, like, annoying to me.
Susie Orman kind of annoys me because she's like, well, you can spend your money on this, but you can't spend it on that. And it's like...
Yeah, well, she's like, she always wants you to, like, save your money. But you're like, I want a fucking car. You're like, Jesus Christ, lady, I want a fucking car.
It's like, I want a car. I have the money for a car. Let me buy a goddamn car. She's like, no, you can't buy that car.
Divorce your husband. Divorce your husband right now. Get rid of him.
But here, take this vacation. Like, Susie Orman makes no sense to me.
No.
Okay, the last thing my ex-boyfriend gave me was a fucking Susie Orman book.
Oh, was he trying to tell you something?
He walks out on my ass, leaves me heartbroken, and then he comes by to, like, bring over packing supplies because I was moving it back home because I was like, I'm not staying in this fucking state. He gives me this book by Susie Orman. I'm like, fuck you.
He gives you a Susie Orman book. Were you just, like, reckless with money, like, before the breakup?
I did spend all of my savings while we were in Minnesota, but that was over, like, a 4-year period.
Okay.
Because I couldn't find a job there, like, for some reason.
Maybe that's why he gave you a Susie Orman book.
I got told I wasn't qualified to print t-shirts when I had printed t-shirts for 3 years, so.
Do you still have it?
It's sitting in storage.
Ugh. You should bring it out. You should bust it out, and we should do an episode on the Susie Orman book. We should read it.
Periscope from the storage unit one day.
You should. You should just like read it aloud. Like every day, read an excerpt.
Lord only knows what's in there. Like I still have some of his shit 'cause it's in the storage unit.
All right. So fuck, marry, kill. Rachel Maddow, Susie Orman, or Nancy Grace.
Kill Rachel Maddow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that's how much I hate
Plot
her.
twist.
Marry Nancy Grace.
What?
Can I just kill Susie Orman too?
Like you found an extra kill in the deck?
Yeah, can I get an extra kill?
No, you gotta obey the rules.
I guess fuck Susie Orman.
I mean, she's probably in her prime still. She's in her sexual peak.
Yeah.
All right. I would definitely kill Nancy Grace, and I would just love to do a report. I would go on Nancy Grace's show and just pretend to be Nancy Grace, and be like, "She's dead. This bitch is dead." Who did it? Let's find this guy. Let's find this asshole that did it. And it would really be me, but no one would know that.
Oh my god, I just have this picture of you in the blonde wig.
Except for anyone who listens to this podcast. Danielle, Heather, Steven, and Ryan. And Sarah? Is that her name? Sarah? Shout out to Sarah.
Sarah.
Hopefully you're not a Nancy Grace fan. We don't know much about you.
We don't know much about you guys, but keep tweeting us. We want to know more about you.
We know that you like Sequest.
And we're looking for it, we promise.
Yes, if you have a copy, send it to us.
Totally.
Because I don't think I checked iTunes. I can only find the theme song on YouTube.
Yeah, I think we might have to go yo ho ho and a bottle of rum it.
Get a VHS off eBay, and then try to find a VCR to watch it on.
Yeah, something like that. I have one in storage.
Yeah, while you're there, get the Susie Orman book. And speaking of Susie Orman, I think I would fuck Susie Orman, and then I would probably marry Rachel Maddow.
Really?
Because I would only be able to put up with Susie Orman for one night.
Do you really want to be married to someone who's just going to call you an idiot all the time?
I mean, I don't have to hang out with her.
Maybe.
I'll have my own room. And you know what? I would use her to get MSNBC back into like its former grace. I would have an agenda.
I feel like MSNBC hasn't really been good since they lost like Ashley Banfield.
I don't even know who that is.
She's like, I think she's at CNN now.
Do you know what we should do for the podcast? We should find like an old like hour of MSNBC from like 1998 or whatever when it first came out, and just do that. Like just talk about that.
That would actually be like okay. This is how weird I was as a teenager. I would like put MSNBC on just for hours. Just like that was my background. Even in college.
That was your Nick at night.
Well, like in the afternoon, like when I wasn't watching a soap opera, it would be like cable news, but it was MSNBC back in the day. It's not MSNBC now.
Now it's what do you do now? I don't do any of the cable news anymore though.
I actually, you guys, I watch Fox News.
I know, because you seem to know all about these people on there, and I was gonna bring it up, but I wasn't sure if you were trying to like hide that shameful past.
Like, I love Shepard Smith. Like, he is so sassy and snarky. There are times I'm just like, oh my god, you are just like amazing.
Oh, one thing that Danielle on our Twitter front, she like follows a lot of people from Fox News. I think I totally spied on her list.
You rock, Danielle.
Are you, Danielle?
We'll have to like chat about our favorites. I'm not, because she listened to the Gallivant podcast. I haven't listened to Friends or Gallivant yet.
Okay. It's really hard to listen to your own podcast, though. I only listen to it because I put it together, and then I just do not want to listen to it ever again.
I try to listen to them, see how often we say like, or let's be real or whatever.
Yes, and we do say like and let's be real a lot. And you know what? Sometimes I just say it comedically now. I just like throw it in there. Just like a good let's be real.
Or there's just stuff that my friends that listen will bring up, and I'm like, wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah, because sometimes I don't remember if we talked about it on the podcast or in the group chat, and I can't remember.
Well, there's this is something I actually talked about with my friend Holly. Shout out Holly. Like when we're writing something, we are in that world. But when we're done with whatever story that is, it's done. We don't really think about that, and then we go on to the next one, and we're in that world. So when people reference stuff from like story 200 we wrote 3 months ago, we're like, wait, what? It's like, what do you mean?
We did that?
I'm sorry. It's like, I'm sorry I had Riley do what with Lucas? When? Where? What?
I always forget what we've done in the past and stuff. I'm like, have we done that yet? And I'm like, what did we talk about? Did we talk about that?
Because we're focused on the world we're in.
Because sometimes I put stuff in my notes that I don't actually end up saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my mind, I'm waiting for that part to come up when I'm putting the podcast together, and I never hear it, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I must not have said it.
It's like, oh, that didn't come up. Okay.
Good. I didn't want to talk about that anyway.
But yeah, so Luke is saving the world on this like computer that is.
It's like the computer from the 1960s Batman, like in the Bat Cave.
Yes, that's totally what this is. Basically, it's actually, you know what? It is probably the size of the room I'm in right now, which is my closet / old gun safe, whatever.
Your gun safe.
Okay, it wasn't my gun safe. It was the gun safe for the people who lived here before.
Did they leave their guns behind? You could have been like, you could be like Laura
No.
now. You could just be running around in pumps and...
They didn't leave the guns behind. They left like 3 or 4 TVs though. Yeah. Yeah, there's like the projection screen and the projector all got left behind by the previous owners.
Ooh, very Kirk Cameron-ish.
We were not probably going to think about buying a projection screen and a projector, kind of. But there's one there. So we have a movie room.
Now you can watch 35-year-old episodes of General Hospital on a projection.
Why didn't I do that? I'm the only one who would have known how to do that.
The quality of the YouTube version that we watched, it was so bad.
Yeah, it was not. I wish I still had like the file that my ex had ripped for me.
Was it the original copy of it?
Right before the 50th anniversary of General Hospital, before SoapNet dissolved, because again, Ryan Franz, you're a fucking moron. They did a marathon of classic General Hospital episodes one weekend, and it included, of course, this episode.
You didn't put it on a DVD or anything?
Like somewhere I have a DVD of like some All My Children episodes. I also know people are going to put these up on YouTube. But thank you to all the people who put all their old like soap opera tapes up on YouTube. I have a huge bin, like Rubbermaid bin of VHS tapes that is
There
like
you go.
probably 95% soap operas that I need to go through them and figure out how to put some on YouTube, and just like there's like amazing stuff. There's like Sunset Beach, Passions, there's The City, All My Children, One Life to Live. Like at the very least I have the final episode of The City saved on the same VHS as the special Olivia episode of Sunset Beach.
Is that the one where I guess they were trying to get interest in the series, so they just do these like weekly recaps where they
They did like for 1 week they like focused on like 5 different people, and like I have the Olivia episode. Obviously Olivia was like my favorite.
And they would have her do these like voiceovers, and they would flash back to old episodes.
Yeah, it would be like this voiceover explaining like the whole thing. And...
But it was supposed to be like happening in the current time, and then she would just like be sitting. She was sitting in her mansion, drinking out of a decanter, looking back very cuntily at the past.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it ended with her like smashing the bottle against the wall or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I think that's how every episode of Sunset Beach ended that involved Olivia mad and drinking.
Probably. Oh my god, you know what else I think is on that tape? This is how random this tape is. An episode of Beverly Hills 90210 where Valerie fakes Dylan returning.
I remember this. Okay.
And maybe Joni and Chachi's wedding that aired on Nick at Night, because they never showed Joni and Chachi's wedding. And maybe an episode of Caroline in the City.
Caroline in the City is on CBS All
I
Access.
don't know why I remember this. Oh my god, why do I remember it was on like a random videotape?
Because you probably wore the fuck out of it. It probably won't even play anymore.
I also have like a bunch of Port Charles episodes from like, especially like stuff involving Jamal and Allison. So Kiko, Ellsworth, Aaron Hershey Presley. I still love you guys so much. Mwah.
All right, so how does General Hospital Luke Saves the World wrap up?
Okay, so Laura, Robert, Scorpio have the machine guns on the Cassadines that are still alive, which is basically Victor, played by...
It's like the ones that don't, like the non-important ones,
yeah,
right?
like Victor, who, he actually does pop up years later. He's played by Theo. I'm not even going to try to attempt to pronounce his last name because I will butcher it. He's actually on Days of Our Lives now.
Ooh.
Yes, he's currently playing Andre Demira on Days of Our Lives. He previously played Tony Demira on Days of Our Lives. He's amazing.
How was he related to Stefano?
He is Stefano's long-lost son in a weird, confusing rewrite that makes... There's a point with Days of Our Lives where they rewrite people's history so much that you're just like, I don't even know.
Well, the audience probably changes every couple of years. So.
Still, there's a point where you're like, I don't understand. John Black's history has been messed with so much that I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, there's parts where he's secretly a Demira / a Brady. He's just some random guy. He might be this guy. He's Jigsaw's son, which is the most... You've seen the Saw movies, right?
Yes, I know who Jigsaw is.
The guy who played Jigsaw was actually on Days of Our Lives last winter as John Black's true biological father. And basically, he was still playing Jigsaw. The whole storyline was very Saw-like. I actually kind of loved it because I loved the original Saw movies. And I kind of love when horror invades soap operas. Like, I love Terror Island.
So it looks like that Ron Carol, whatever his name is,
Carlavati, Ron Carlavati.
Carlavati has a lot of work to do.
He does. Okay, here's the thing. Ron has cleaned up the mess left by Dina Higley before. Because she was the head writer of One Life to Live before before he became head writer of One Life to Live, and he cleaned up the mess she made. So one of the things I'm excited about is I know he can clean up her messes. He's cleaned up after Bob Guza and Garen Wolf. He can clean up these messes. Like, there are people who are like, oh, he can be a little, like, over the top. And I'm like, it's Days of Our Lives. Like, hello, this is the show that had Marlena possessed by the devil. And then there are people who are like, well, General Hospital's not over the top. I'm like, hello, Freezing the World. There's an alien.
They are all over the top. They may claim to not be, but at one point in time, every soap opera in history has tried to clone somebody. There's been aliens.
Yes, Guiding Light cloned Riva.
It's not a church sermon like they were in the 1950s.
Yeah, especially Guiding Light.
You're like chatty catty tonight.
Okay, so Laura and Robert are holding guns on the surviving Cassadines at this point. And they're like machine guns. And Laura's a total badass in her pink ball gown. And Robert's in his like half tux kind of thing with the collar open and just looking sexy as fuck because he's Robert fucking Scorpio. And Luke's like got his like half tux on. And when I say half tux, I mean there's no jacket, there's no tie, but like the shirt open and the tux pants. And
yeah, they probably had a jacket on earlier, but they took it off, obviously.
Yeah, like probably 3 or 4 episodes before, but you know there were fights and it's a tropical island and
So why were they all dressed up?
Like the Cassadines are rich, royal people who have fancy parties.
So Luke and Laura were there for like legitimate reasons originally?
Yeah, they were like trying to blend in.
Okay. Well, they were like infiltrating, I guess. Is that what was happening?
Yeah, because they're also like at this party it was like Alexandria Quartermain and Tiffany Hill, who becomes a very important General Hospital character later on.
I thought you were going to say, for some reason, I thought you were going to say Tiffany Amber Thiessen. I don't know why.
That is totally a different topic for another day, Patrick, even though I totally brought her up.
It is her birthday today. Shout out to Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kelly Kapowski.
Happy birthday, Valerie Malone, and the girl you played on Son-in-Law.
And whoever she played in that one show with Matt Bomber.
White Collar?
Yeah. Was she on that?
And Fast Lane with Bill Bellamy and Jenny Garth's husband, ex-husband.
We're so messy.
We're just like dropping things that Tiffany Amber Thiessen's been on.
For real. Trust me, I have like kept myself from being too messy tonight because there were almost some tweets sent to a certain actor.
Welcome to the messiest podcast in history. But our 5 fans like it. We're in like a January episode thing. You know, a lot of people are tired from the Christmas season, so you know they'll listen to this in a few months.
Okay, anyways, so Luke's alone in this room, this small like dungeon type room with this gigantic computer, and there's like the monitor is on the wall, and all it does will just show you like what you type. It just says lock in red letters, not even green, but red, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, because green screens like were back in the day, right?
Yeah, there's like green. I remember maybe white because I remember we had a Commodore. You know those computers you just hooked up to your TV screen?
Yeah, shout out to Commodore.
We had one of those when I was a kid. I just remember there was a pirate game my cousin would play.
Yeah, I had a Batman game.
Like, I think we had like 3 games and only my cousin Kim ever played them. I just remember like taking the Commodore like actual like keyboard and pretending to type on it.
You're just mashing buttons. You were trying to mimic Luke saving the world. That's really what you were doing.
Yeah, probably. It was probably like it was probably frozen, like embedded into my 6-week-old brain.
Frozen was a good term to use because it ties in with the episode.
Frozen into my 6-week-old brain because I was 6 weeks at this point.
Yeah, maybe like your mom was watching it with you were sitting on her lap. And
She was probably like holding me while she was watching.
And it's
Luke
just
saving
something
the world.
that you remembered.
Yeah, so Luke's like trying to type, and of course, because it's 1981, he can't like type the way we type with his fingers on the home keys, or even like any semblance of knowing the board. He's pecking. Okay, I'm gonna say this. One of my pet peeves is watching actors pretend to type.
It is pretty infuriating at times.
Like, I was watching a Hallmark movie the other day with Holly Marie Combs.
Oh God, was she trying to type?
Like, it's just the way she would rest her hands on the keyboard. She's like, I think these are the home keys.
Someone needs to sign that bitch up for a business class, like a typing class.
Do people not like learn to type?
Send her to secretarial school in the Mad Men time. Like, send her to the secretarial school that Peggy Olson went to on Mad Men.
I can type 85 words per minute, okay? Typing is not that difficult. Like, you can take a freaking online course now. Just learn where the freak your hands are supposed to be.
She is memorizing lines. She does not have time to learn how to type. She is trying to remember spells for for episodes of Charmed.
Maybe that's what it was. I used to get her and Nev Campbell confused when I was really young.
What?
Because they
What?
looked...
They are
okay, no. When we were young, they looked kind of alike.
I don't know.
Before Scream. Like, right when Nev was doing Party of Five and Holly was doing Picket Fences.
Like Catwalk, Nev Campbell?
I think they kind of looked similar.
I don't know. I'll have to do a side-by-side. I'll have to do, like, 1995 Holly Marie Combs and Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
And try to... I don't know, like, who is who in this? It's like, who invited these sisters?
Yeah, they look similar enough that if you're not paying attention to them, I think you might, like, if you didn't realize they were two different people.
Is Holly Marie Combs Canadian? I know Nev Campbell is, but I don't know about Holly Marie.
No, she's originally from San Diego, California. I just happen to have a Wikipedia page.
It was already up? Like, it was already loaded? Because I did not see you typing, so you totally were snooping on Holly Marie Combs.
That freaking stealthy on my fourth glass of wine.
So, what were you going through, like, the whole cast of Charmed earlier today?
Well, no, actually, I, like, just typed it. I was trying to look up her as a teenager, see if I could find a picture.
We'll put it on the website, on averyspecialpodcast.com. Go there.
Okay, do you know how often we say, we're going to put this on the website?
But you know what?
And it never makes the
That's
website.
the charm of listening to the podcast. And these people are going to go to our website, and they're going to be looking for this stuff, and they'll never find it. But I like saying it, though.
One day, I'm going to, like, redesign the website, and Patrick's not going to know.
You should go back and listen to all the old episodes and just put up all the things that we said we were going to put up but never did.
I'm going to. I'm totally going to.
Like, I think I had, like a Jill Taylor article I was going to write.
Yeah. Actually, no, I think you did post that.
Did I do that one?
Yeah, you posted the Jill Taylor one, but none of the others that you planned.
I think we're gonna have, like, a tie-in. That was our initial thing, is that we're going to bring up something.
And then write articles.
But we didn't have time to talk about it on the podcast, but we would have it on our website. And it was like this fun idea, but we realized it just took up way too much time to do all this stuff.
What the hell am I doing with my time? Oh, I'm watching a 4-year-old.
You already spent like 4 hours prepping for this shit, and then you gotta do another 4 hours to write a stupid article about an unfun mom like Jill Taylor. Because I was gonna do like TV's like most unfun moms. That's what I was gonna be.
I like have a list somewhere of blog posts I was gonna do. Yeah, you did unfun moms, Jill Taylor.
But I was gonna have like a top.
As the old adage goes, behind every man there's a great woman. But when that man is Tim, the Toolman Taylor, life in a suburban sprawl of the greater Detroit region is nary the fun times. Following a decade-long stretch of losing her sanity to the tune of masculine grunts, Jill Taylor hangs up her apron and tells the 4 beasts occupying the now man cave she is no longer wiping poop smears from the toilet bowls in the numerous bathrooms that are scattered throughout their 2-story palatial palace. "Mom, where's my sack lunch?" shouts the shaggy-haired Mark as Jill grabs her 3-ring binder and heads off to the local community college to gobble up all the information she can about it. Remember when Mom was fun? Asks Brandy as the door slams behind Jill. Tim rolls his eyes and to join. Yeah, that was way before you came along.
That was really good. I did not know that I was that good of a writer.
Like, I have a list of blog posts, but
we'll go back and we'll redo these. That'll be our 2017 goal for the podcast. We will
actual content.
Yes.
You guys tweet us at Very Podcast and tell us what you want to see on our website.
More unfun moms, more Jill Taylor fan fiction, Home Alone 2 fan fiction.
Who are your inspiring TV women? I am not writing a Full House fanfic. Not happening. You can write Stephanie's Wild Ride.
Home Alone 2?
I'm not writing that.
Well, guess how General Hospital ends. Luke
finally figures out the password.
And it's like the first thing he probably should have typed. Ice Princess.
Yes. Like, he types all kinds of random stuff. Miko.
Oh, I think... Well, actually, no. You know what happens? He types the word ice, and it accepts it. Mm-hmm. But I guess it wanted another word.
It doesn't, like, fully accept it, because there's still more. He's like, maybe it's something weather-related. ICE. And then it's, like, stuck, but it's not, like... It's still, like, on the screen. It's not locked, so he's like... Ice.
And he's like, ice storm, ice hockey, ice cream.
Ice baby.
Ice climber, the NES game.
Ice princess, the damn
Can we just say all the things that he should have said that were ice related?
Ice baby. No, wait, that
Yes.
wasn't like a thing for like another like 10 years.
He invented Ice Ice Baby.
Mhm.
And Vanilla Ice also ripped that from General Hospital.
Dear Vanilla Ice, I hope you're okay with your BFF Rick Perry.
So Luke gets the password right,
Mhm.
and it allows him to shut off the weather machine, and then the door magically opens. Him and Laura are reunited, and Robert Scorpio is just kind of like chilling on the side, like, "Hey, I'm still here. Remember me?"
Poor Robert doesn't get like a real love interest until
Like the 2000s.
until a year later.
Well,
After Luke's like declared dead.
well,
And Robert's like, I'm gonna marry your girlfriend so she can stay in the country.
the WSB is a very demanding job. You don't have time to settle down.
Well, he actually, okay, to be fair, Robert like did have. I am totally a Robert and Anna fan over a Robert and Holly fan.
Holly Marie Combs.
Holly as in Emma Sam.
I know that name. Was she on Models Inc?
Maybe she was on Dynasty.
I don't know. I'm surprised you don't have a Wikipedia page open.
She was the recast of Fallon on Dynasty.
Okay. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of her.
No, Robert's true love, as far as I'm concerned, is Anna, who is played by Finola Hughes, who also played Blossom's stepmom.
And she was on Pacific Palisades, a short-lived Aaron Spelling soap.
Emma Sams was on Models Inc.
I knew that. I knew it was right.
And The New Adventures of Lois and Clark.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
And Picket Fences. No, I'm just kidding. I just said that. I just feel like saying that.
No, that's not listed.
Charmed.
No, Finola Hughes was Charmed. She was the mom on Charmed.
She was. And Finola Hughes was on Sunset Beach, too, for like a week.
Yeah.
She had a guest stint. Her and Jack Wagner.
Yes, Jack Wagner. Oh, Jack Wagner. Jack Wagner is looking so good on Calls the Heart these days.
All right, so that is Luke and Laura saving the world.
Laura's holding everybody with the machine gun, being a total badass. Luke's trying to figure out a pass. Who do you think's the bigger badass right now?
I think Laura is the biggest badass in this whole episode.
Laura is totally the bigger badass, but Luke gets all the credit.
Luke gets all the credit. It took him 4 hours to figure out how to shut that stupid computer off, and it was the first thing he should have typed in. Laura had to hold down the Cassadines with a machine gun.
Laura would have figured it out. The Cassadines kidnap Laura later on. They make her be Stavros' wife, bear Nicholas, and Helena Cassadine puts a curse on Luke and Laura on their wedding day, as played by Elizabeth Taylor.
Shout out to Elizabeth Taylor. White Diamonds.
That commercial freaks me out now when they play it.
It does.
At Christmas time. I'm kind of okay, first of all, this commercial is 30 years old. Second of all, Elizabeth Taylor is dead. This is really creepy.
Can we move on, please?
Can we not? You want to sell white diamonds? Can we maybe find a new ad campaign?
Yeah. Get, see what Holly Marie Combs is up to these days.
Or Nev Campbell.
Maybe she wants to do something that's not a Hallmark movie. Maybe she wants to sell perfume for 70-year-old women.
Yeah, and Holly Marie Combs is not a Hallmark queen or anything. I think she's only done maybe 1 or 2 movies for Hallmark.
Oh, she's not who's the Hallmark queen? Candace Cameron Bure?
Lacey Chabert. Candace, she's done quite a few, but Lacey Chabert, who actually was the youngest sister on Party of Five, probably has done the most Hallmark movies.
Okay. Good to know.
And the king of Hallmark movies is Dean Cain.
Oh, yeah, Dean Cain. He has nothing else.
Especially Christmas movies. He has done so many Christmas movies. He knows he's done a bunch of Christmas movies.
The original King of Christmas.
Yeah, she's only done 1 Hallmark movie, Holly Marie Combs.
Okay. Well, girl, get to it. Pump some more out, or try to get yourself on the White Diamonds account.
Yes.
Or get yourself a bitchin' cable series on AMC or something.
Or at least stop bitching about the new. If you don't like the new Charmed reboot, do something about it.
Yeah. Why don't you join it and run it and get your girls back and just keep it going?
Yeah, get your executive producer or something.
Yeah,
do something.
Drag Shannon back into the fold.
Shannon healthy enough.
If she's feeling good.
I feel like I see a lot of clickbaity headlines that she's not well.
I see a lot of clickbaity articles like that too, but then I also see her tweeting a lot and Instagramming a lot, so I'm confused.
I don't actually follow her because it makes me sad.
All right, shall we talk about what we are doing next week?
What are we doing now? Hold on, I have to find my list.
All right, this is exciting. I don't think we've ever talked about doing this before, but we just remembered that it was a show that existed.
Okay.
It involves a family of aliens from another world.
Obviously.
Not the soap opera world, but an actual another planet. And they come to Earth, and they take on the form of humans, and shenanigans ensue. I'm talking about the one and only Third Rock from the Sun. starring John Lithgow.
I just remember that Jane Curtin is on that show, and Jane Curtin is fucking amazing and does not get the credit she fucking deserves.
On Third Rock from the Sun, or just in general?
Just in general. Like, okay, all you little bitchy people who go on about how fucking awesome Kristen fucking Wiig is, guess what? She is shit compared to Jane Curtin.
I agree with you there.
Like, there would be no fucking Kristen Wiig if it wasn't for Jane Curtin. So Kristen Wiig should be on her fucking knees, bowing down to Jane Curtin every fucking chance she gets.
I just thought you were going to go dirty there. I thought you were going to say Kristen Wiig should be on her knees sucking Jane Curtin's dick.
Metaphorically, yes.
Metaphorical dick. So join us next week when we watch Third Rock from the Sun, Season 1, Episode 5. We don't know the title yet, but we will shortly. And maybe Drunk Cat will make an appearance next week. Who knows?
I don't think so.
Time will tell. She will be in rehab tomorrow, so this episode will probably air in like 3 months. So, as always,
bye.
Until next time.